In our everyday life, we are exposed to many infectious microbes. However, only a few of them causes disease. Why? This is due to the fact that our body is able to defend itself from most of these infectious agents. Let us talk about this defense system in detail in this video. Now, let us start. Immunity can be defined as a complex biological system endowed with the capacity of recognize and tolerate whatever belongs to self and to recognize and reject what is foreign. Do you know about the types of immunities? It is mainly of two types, that is, innate and acquired immunity. First, we will discuss about innate immunity. Innate immunity is a non-specific type of immunity that is present at the time of birth. It is defined as the first response of the body's immune system to harmful foreign agents. Can you guess examples of innate immunity? The examples of innate immunity includes enzymes in the tear, acids in the stomach, etc. It is accomplished by providing different types of barriers to the entry of pathogen. Next, we will see what are these barriers. Mainly, there are four types of barriers. There are physical barriers, physiological barriers, cellular barriers, and cytokinin barriers. Let us look into each type. What do you understand by the term physical barriers? Physical barriers are barriers that prevents the entry of pathogen into the body. They include skin, mucus coating of the epithelial lining of respiratory, gastrointestinal, and urogenital tract. The second barrier is the physiological barrier. They are hydrochloric acid, that is in the stomach, saliva in the mouth, and tears in the eye. The third type of barrier is the cellular barrier. Phagocytotic cells like polymorphic nuclear leukocytes, monocytes, and natural killer cells as well as macrophages are the different cellular barriers. Do you know what is interferon and when it is secreted? Virus-infected cells secrete certain protein called interferons that protect nearby non-infected cells from the infection. This type of barrier is known as cytokinin barrier. This is all about barriers. The next concept is acquired immunity. So, what is acquired immunity? Acquired immunity is pathogen specific. That is, when our body encounters a pathogen for the first time, a low intensity response is created, and that is known as a primary response. When the host encounters the same pathogen for the second time, a high intensity response is created and it is known as a secondary response. How do these responses are produced? What is the role played by two special lymphocytes? Let us find the answer to this question. The B and the T lymphocytes together create these responses. B-type cells produce special protein to fight against pathogen and they are called antibodies. T cells assist B cells to produce antibodies. Now let us study the structure of an antibody. Have you ever imagined how an antibody looks like? Yes, it looks as a Y in a 2D structure, as you can see in this image. Each antibody molecule has 4 peptide chains, 2 small light chains and 2 longer heavy chains. So, an antibody is represented as H2L2, that is 2 light chain and 2 heavy chain. The types of antibodies include IgM, IgA, IgD, IgE and IgG. Can you guess what name is given to this kind of response? Since these antibodies are produced in blood, the response is also called the hormonal immune response or antibody-mediated response. It is one of the 2 types of acquired immunity. The other type of acquired immunity is the cell-mediated response or CMI. T cells mediate CMI. Specifically, T helper cells, cytotoxic and suppressor cells carry out this response. When a kidney or heart fails to function properly, what is the only remedy to continue a normal life? There is only one way for that, and it is transplantation. Do you know why the organs cannot be taken from just anybody? Grafts from anybody will be rejected sooner or later if blood group matching or tissue matching is not done properly. You need to note that cell-mediated immunity is responsible for graft rejection. Next, we will discuss active immunity. What is active or passive immunity? We are very familiar with the 2 words active and passive, right? When a host is exposed to antigen or foreign agent that may be living or dead, antibodies are produced and this is called active immunity. It is a slow reaction and takes time to give its full response. It is induced in the human body during immunization or during natural infection. The next topic is passive immunity. Now that you know what is active immunity, it might be very easy to define passive immunity. When ready-made antibodies are directly given to protect against foreign bodies, it is known as passive immunity. A yellowish fluid called colostrum secreted by the mother has an abundant amount of antibodies called IgA. Fetus receive some antibodies from their mother. These are all examples of passive immunity. Now the last topic is vaccination and immunization. Let's now discuss on the topic vaccination and immunization. A vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity in which live or attenuated or killed pathogens are used. It is based on the memory of the immune system. In vaccination, a preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogen or weakened pathogen is introduced. Antibodies produced against these antigens would neutralize the pathogen during actual infection. B and T cells generate an abundant amount of antibodies on subsequent exposure to the same pathogen. So, vaccines also generate memory and the body gets immune from that particular pathogen. Do you know what is called passive immunization? Have you heard about antivenoms? It is given to treat patients with snake bites. Here performed antibodies are directly introduced into the body because this is an emergency situation. And this is called as passive immunization. The modern recombinant DNA technology has also produced antigenic proteins of pathogens. This type of vaccine is produced on a large scale and hence they have a greater availability. For example, the hepatitis B vaccine. In this video, we discuss basic concepts related to immunity, its types, and the structure of antibody. We also discussed on the very important members of our defense system and dealt with immunization. We already know that pollen grains may cause allergy. So what is meant by allergy? How is it caused? Can it be treated? What about autoimmunity? We'll learn about these concepts in the upcoming sessions. Now let's summarize what we have learned.
Manorama Horizon. Learning made simple.